Hi everyone, welcome back to Novel Nomad and welcome to the third Adelaide Writers Week review for the month and leading up to Adelaide Writers Week. So I got from the library and have just finished Prizefighter by Future D Fidel. I really thoroughly enjoyed this book. It was actually it follows the life of a young boy who grew up in the Congo, and his village is threatened and basically is ransacked by child soldiers, and he is given the option to either pick up a gun and become a child soldier or die. He watches his family die in very traumatic circumstances, so in that blank trauma he becomes a child soldier, but then he manages to escape, he manages to become a refugee in another country, and then he manages to come to Australia. And it is here when he really starts to have to battle with himself, with his own past, and really discover who he is and who he wants to be and where he wants to go, because he comes from a very protected, a very well-loved family, and that is completely eradicated when the child soldiers come in and just destroy his village. So I really love how it's not just about this young man who's a boxer. It's about a young man who's trying to find his place in his new home, about to find who he is, and also come to grips with what he's done in the past and what his past is leading to, and come to terms with all the trauma that he has suffered. So it is really beautifully done. The writing is brilliant. There's a little interplay of poetry in there as well. I have to admit though, it is more of a life story. You do have a few hints of, the boxing and that kind of development coming in, but it is not the focus at all. I did find a bit of a disconnect at times once the character got to Australia, because the character himself was disconnected from the world around him. So there was a lot of jumping after he got to Australia and was beginning to settle in, but he wasn't. That was quite an interesting concept, but I really loved that kind of earlier story when he's just trying to survive and he's recounting his life as a child, and also his experiences and the trauma he suffered as a child soldier. So this was really fascinating. Future D Fidel is coming to Adelaide Writers Week, and he's quite a new author. This is his debut novel, and it just has so much heart at the base of it. I still think there was parts of it that kind of lost me. The plot isn't hugely drawn out, but you mainly focus on the main character Issa and how he is trying to combat his past rather than combat his boxing enemies as such. So it's not the big Rocky movie style kind of thing. It is actually about Issa, and it's about realizing what is happening and why there is a need for refugees and why you just can't refuse refugees. So it's a very powerful book for the political climate at the moment, and a really good one that we have to talk about. So thoroughly enjoy this one. It is in a unique voice that definitely needs to be heard.